Sa mga kontra sa ayuda, handang
Naku, yun na.
ipakita ng administrasyong ito kung saan napunta ang bawat sentimong inilaan para rito. To those who doubted the importance of social safety nets, let this be a reminder. Ayuda is not charity, it is justice.
Ayuda's not charity daw. Nako, itong si Congressman J.J. Suarez parang tumaas na naman ho ng 1 inch yung kanyang hairline. Napanood nyo ho yung ating intro. Yun ho mga kababayan, tensyonado nung tinanong ho siya kaugnay sa ayuda. At itong si Martin Tambalus Romualdez talagang todo practice ho siya sa SONA. No? Talagang excited na ho siya maging presidente. Dito sa video na to, talagang todo depensa. Itong si Tambalus Los, ha? Diyan sa ayuda-ayuda na yan. Wala ka ng maraming sinasabi, Tamba. Kung merong resibo, dilatagan mo kami. Pero bago ang lahat ng yan, mga kabayan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan at sa mga gustong sumali sa ating community. Alam nyo na ho gagawin, mga kababayan. Wala ho tayo maraming pag-uusapan dito. Rekta ho tayo dito sa pagsasalita ni Tambalus Los. Diyan sa House of Representatives kaninang hapon. Ito mga kababayan, panoorin ho natin ang buong video. Siyempre, yung tatawagin siya nitong si Boy, yung palakpakan yung mga unggoy. Tataba ng bulsa namin. Woo! Grabe naman yan. Masaya lahat, masaya ho silang lahat, siyempre. Si Asigre. Grabe naman yan. Palakpakan. Merry ang Christmas. Happy pa New Year. Kayo na. Grabe naman yan. Standing ovation talaga itong si Tambalus Los, Ibang klase. Hindi na, banat na. Dami pang...
Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen, honorable members. Mga kagalang-galang na kasamahan, mahal kong kababayan, mahal kong kaibigan. As we close this chapter of the 19th Congress,
Pakinggan nyo ho kung paano tayo lokohin itong ogag na to, Pakinggan nyo ho mga kababayan kung paano tayo lokohin ito.
for the year, let me first
Pakinggan ho ninyo kung paano niya subukang lokohin ang sambayan ng Pilipino sa kanyang mga sasabihin dito sa speech niya na to.
express my profound gratitude to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Salamat sa malasakit, sa ating mga kababayan, salamat sa pagtindig sa katotohanan. This is not just another session day. Today is an opportunity to reflect on the year that was. A year of challenges, triumphs, and unrelenting hope. It's a privilege to stand before you, representing a chamber united not just by the authority vested in us, but by the Constitution, but by the collective will to serve the Filipino people. Every single one of us here today has carried a burden, some heavier than others. But
Lahat kayo dyan, meron kayong bitbitin bago matapos tong taon na to. Kung ano-anong paghihirap ang ibinigay nyo sa sambayan ng Pilipino. Mula sa paghihiring ng kung ano-ano dyan sa budget, napakalaki yung perwisyon itong mama na to sa sambayan ng Pilipino.
all for the singular purpose of uplifting the lives of our fellow Filipinos. Let me take you on a journey as we look back at the immense strides we've made, the battles we've fought together, and the victories that we now celebrate as one house and one nation. When we began this legislative year, we were faced with an uphill battle. Inflation bore down on every Filipino household. Global conflicts sent ripple effects across our shores, and calamities tested us and the resilience of our nation. In an unprecedented and unforeseen turn of events, we were confronted with and tackled matters that may have been the most contentious, grave, and intricate issues of our time. On top of that, climate events and movements in the global market set us back in our targets as these unexpected circumstances demanded our immediate action. Yet, we persevered together, we tackled these challenges head on, driven by unwavering commitment to the Filipino people. Despite efforts to dim the light on this dignified institution, we held our ground. We refused to be defeated by false accusations and malicious maneuvers driven by self-interest, selfishness, and
Siniro
greed.
nyo yung budget ng
I have seen the extraordinary resilience of our members. Despite the pressures of legislation and the complexities of the issues that we face and the often painful decisions we must make, you, my colleagues, have never wavered. Thank you.
Palakpakan naman sila. Grabe naman. Kayo ba naman na mabigyan ng napakaraming akap, di ba? Di ba? Ang lalaki ho. Tingnan, yung mga ordinaryong membro, nasa 100 milyon daw ho di umano. Kada doon sa mga ordinaryong membro. Para doon sa mga deputy, mga bataan ni Tamba, nasa 700 million pesos daw ho ata. Di umano. Okay, no?
No doubt you have worked tirelessly to address the needs of your constituents, sacrificing time with your families and personal comforts to ensure that no Filipino is left behind. It is not easy to be in public service.
No Filipino left behind daw. Paano yung mga pupunta sa sa PhilHealth? Hindi nyo binigay yung kaukulang pondo sa mga diyan sa mga benepisyaryo ng universal healthcare. Oh. Paano sila? Paanong no Filipino left behind? Ano nga ba 'yon? Stupid ka ba? Kasi ang hirap po ng bobo. Are you stupid?
But it is in moments like these when the results of our labor manifest in the improved lives of our people that make it all worthwhile. My dear colleagues, your resilience and determination were beyond measure. Throughout this period, we have successfully demonstrated our ability to act decisively and inclusively. Despite the pressures, obstacles, and overbearing weight of our tasks, we never backed down in our commitment to improve the lives of the Filipino people and our respective constituents.
Alam nyo, ngayon nakikita ko tong si Tambaluslos. Ito ho yung mukha ng kawalang hiyaan ngayon sa ating bansa. Kung meron nung isang politiko na napakawalang hiya, yan ho ang pagmumukha na yan. Yan ho ang pagmumukha ng walang hiya, sa totoo lang.
This year
Yung mga
further
panahon na-
displayed the strength of our democracy as we chose to uphold justice, equity, and fairness. In other words, we matched these immense challenges with great achievements. As Mahatma Gandhi said, dignity of human nature requires that we must face the storms of life. And face the storms we did, intelligently, gallantly, and objectively while relying on the fundamental principles of law.
Puro naman kayo mga
On this
mukha.
note, I would like to commend all the members for your inestimable contribution to this chamber.
Alam mo, kung congressman tayo ngayong mga panahon na to, tayo nahihiya. At nabilang tayo dyan sa 19th Congress na yan. Pinakawalang kwentang kongreso, 19th Congress, mga kababayan. Mula 2015, 2016, medyo nagbabad na ho tayo sa politika. Ito hong kongreso na to, pinakawalang kwenta, pinaka-inutil. Sa totoo lang, walang ginawa kundi mamigay ng ayuda at walang ginawa kundi yung pang sariling interest nila ang sinusulong nila. Pinakawalang kwentang kongreso, 19th Congress.
Thank you again.
Stop! Walang kwentang sa congressman. Aba, hoy, si Dan Fernandez, napicturean, di siya pumapalakpak. Ayan, napagalitan ka ba kay Tamba, Brad? Ayan, hindi pumapalakpak si Dan.
Your pivotal
Natawa
role
lang ka
in
dyan.
reshaping the course by which the House of Representatives conducts its
Hoy, Tamba, di pumapalakpak siya. Paano ba naman kasi, siya pinakabugbog sa radyo sa radyo.
work and redefining the future of our nation is by far exceptional. Your unwavering dedication to public service, eagerness to engage in debates and discussions, and mutual respect towards one another led the House of Representatives to the enactment of 71 national and 76 local laws since the opening of the 19th Congress. Today, let us celebrate our collective accomplishments, milestones that will leave an indelible mark on our nation's history. Our collaboration and tireless commitment to public service to achieve meaningful progress. The General Appropriations Act of 2025, which we ratified on December 11, is a testament to our commitment to prioritizing the welfare of our people. This is not just a budget. It is a blueprint of hope.
Anak ng towa, yun daw budget para sa 2025 blueprint of hope. Bangag ka na rin ba, tambaluslos? Ay, sa bagay, binabasa mo nga lang. Baka si Jam Magno nagsulat niya.
It ensures funding for vital programs that bolster economic recovery, create jobs, and provide much-needed relief for struggling families. It is the cornerstone upon which the government operates, the key to supporting President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. in his Bagong Pilipinas program. With the approval of the 2025 GAA, we will be more capable of advocating for the concerns of the underprivileged, pursuing justice for the downtrodden, and formulating policies that foster equality and dignity for all citizens. We ensure that every sector is supported, from agriculture to education, from healthcare to infrastructure. This budget reflects the pulse of the nation, responding to the immediate needs of our people while laying the groundwork for a sustainable future. Alam ng bawat pamilyang Pilipino, mahirap pagkasyahin ang budget para sa araw-araw na kailangan. Bawat miyembro ng pamilya may reklamo sa budget na nakalaan sa kanya. Pero sa kabuuan, ang desisyon ng pamilya ay para sa isang budget na makakabuti para sa lahat. And the same goes for the 2025 General Appropriations Act.
Ano makakabuti sa ayuda? Ayun, ayuda. Makakabuti sa ayuda. Hindi para sa pangumersyo ng isang pamilya, hindi sa business o kung saan pa man. Importanteng paglaanan ng pondo yung ayuda. Ganun mo ba yun, Speaker?
While not everyone may be satisfied with the 2025 national budget, it is a budget that mirrors the true needs of our people, not just for daily survival, but for building a stronger foundation for a brighter and better future. Ang budget na ibinigay natin sa mga departments at agencies, yun lang kaya nilang gastusin sa loob ng isang taon, walang labis, walang kulang. On our legislative duties, we have approved 60 out of the 64 common legislative CLA measures, demonstrating our resolve to deliver on our promises. I am proud to report that we successfully passed 27 out of the 28 priority measures identified by the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council, the LEDAC, for passage by the end of the 19th Congress. These are not mere numbers. These are solutions to real problems faced by our constituents. Among these, I would like to highlight the National Land Use Act.
Grabe, dami hong issue. Ang dami hong issue na hindi nasasagot nitong mga gobyerno na to. Sa pagdating dito sa ayuda, pagdating dito sa flood control, sa korupsyon, kriminalidad, napakarami ang problema ng ating bansa. Sa totoo lang. Okay lang ho sana kahit marami tayong problema, pero nakikita ho natin unti-unting kahit papaano gustong solusyonan o tinatrabaho ng administrasyon. Pero wala ho silang ginagawa ngayong mga panahon na to.
Which will pave the way for better land utilization and food security. And the Public-Private Partnership Act, which will attract investments and boost our economy. I'm quite elated to report that 4 more national and 36 local measures are already awaiting action by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. We have ratified 3 conference committee reports. 5 measures are currently pending with the Bicameral Conference Committee, and about 800 legislative measures approved on third and final reading are awaiting action by the Senate. Since the 19th Congress opened, there were 1,366 measures approved, with 11,232 bills and 2,211 resolutions filed. This year alone, the House of Representatives, together with the Senate, worked hard to enact 51 national and 53 local laws. Recently enacted are Republic Act number 12063, or the Enterprise-Based Education and Training, the EBIT Framework Act, RA number 12064, or the Philippine Maritime Zones Act, RA 12065, or the Philippine Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act, RA 12066, or the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises to Maximize Opportunities or Reinvigorating the Economy, the Create More Act, and RA 12078, or the amendments to the Agriculture Clarification Act. The House likewise spearheaded the recent enactment of other significant legislative measures, which include RA 12076, or the Ligtas Pinoy Centers Act, RA 12077, or the Student Loan Payment Moratorium During Disasters and Emergencies Act, RA 12079, or the VAT Refund for Non-Resident Tourists Act, and RA 12080, or the Basic Education, Mental Health, and Well-Being Promotion Act. Tapos lang natin lahat ng homework natin para sa taong ito. At sigurado po, mission accomplished tayo sa iba pang batas bago matapos ang termino natin sa 19th Congress sa Hunyo. This year, we have also exercised our oversight functions with diligence and integrity. Our investigations in aid of legislation have uncovered anomalies, held officials accountable, and pushed for reforms to ensure public funds are spent wisely. In the course of our legislative responsibilities, the House of the People remains vigilant in emphasizing the importance of transparency and accountability of public funds, reaffirming our commitment to safeguarding our most precious resources. Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of the people resonates through us. As their emissary, let us acknowledge we have a sacred duty to our constituents and the values that bind us as a nation. A better future for the entire nation carries the essence of our duty. Our policies and actions must be designed to bring people together and not divide them, to build instead of destroy, and to develop rather than impede. Nakabang ang milyong Pilipino sa bawat hearing ng ating Quad Committee at Good Government Committee. Naging sumbungan ang Kongreso ng mga kababayan nating naghahanap ng katarungan at solusyon sa mga katiwalian. Kailangan lang nagsimula na rin ang hearings ng ating Quinta Committee. Tayo natin maghanap ng solusyon kung paano pababain ang presyo ng bigas at iba pang bilihin. The Quinta Com seeks to address food affordability, accessibility, safety, while also examining the effects of agricultural practices on food production and food insecurity. Its hearings revealed significant instances of large-scale smuggling of agricultural products, manipulation of the prices of rice by traders, and the creation of artificial shortages of rice. These issues highlight specific vulnerabilities in monitoring transactions amongst wholesalers, retailers, and middlemen. Hoarding, the absence of proper monitoring, and other illegal practices have resulted to billions in foregone revenues. These most certainly must be addressed. Kaya naman, hiniling natin sa Executive Department na magbuo ng mega task force laban sa mga kartel na nagmamanipula ng presyo ng bigas at iba pang bilihin.
Nakakapalakpak doon.
Tutulong tayo sa mega task force na ito sa lahat ng paraan na kaya natin. Hindi tayo titigil hanggat hindi nabubuwag ang mga kartel at ito ay may preso ang mga leader nila. These efforts are not just about uncovering wrongdoing, they are about restoring faith in our institutions and proving that this House of the People stands firmly on the side of transparency, accountability, and justice. The Quadcom, for its part, remained unwavering in its investigations. Thanks to the valiant efforts of its members, the Quadcom investigation revealed the apparent temerity and disrespect of those who propagate serious and illegal activities involving pogos, illegal drugs, smuggling, irregularities in the Philippine visa processing, corruption, and accountability. Worse, the perpetrators were fully aware of their catastrophic implications on the government and society, yet they continued to operate without shame. Apart from the Anti-Extrajudicial Killing Act, the Anti-Offshore Gaming Operations Act, the Civil Forfeiture Act, and the fraudulent birth certificate cancellation law filed in response to the Quadcom's earlier findings, the Joint Committee is currently focused on drafting legislation that addresses evidence fabrication, explores additional accountability measures for law enforcement and officials. The hearings conducted by the Committee on Good Government illuminated the glaring and egregious ill use of the government's confidential funds. The extent of the funds' misuse and the clear absence of accountability shown through fabricated documents, falsified liquidation reports, and spurious acknowledgement receipts reveal how some shameless individuals blatantly disregard the rule of law and betray the public trust. Stricter measures for fund release and enhanced auditing policies must be implemented. Transparency in the General Appropriations Act must always be pursued. As a result, two proposed bills emerged from the hearings. One, to regulate the use of confidential funds and impose penalties for its misuse. And another, to define qualifications and penalties for special disbursing officers who violate the provisions of the law. Next year, the House of Representatives will also conduct a thorough and impartial investigation into how PhilHealth's funds are being managed.
Naku, yun na ho. Ang haba pala ng speech ni tamba na to. Sigaw. Ang ginagawa ni Rufus doon, ba't gigil na gigil siyang pumalakpak?
But this investigation is not about blame. It's about finding solutions. Our goal is clear: to ensure that every peso in PhilHealth's coffers works for the benefit of the members, the hardworking Filipino people who contribute month after month. If this investigation reveals that existing funds are being underutilized or are in excess of what is needed for current operations, we will pursue the following recommendations. 1, further expand benefits for members until we reach the vision of zero billing in all hospitals.
Nako, tagal na yan. Ang tagal na ho niyang recommendation na yan. Tagal na yan. Ha? Pero ano rin ho to, yung mga nangyayari ngayon dito sa PhilHealth na to, blessing in disguise din ho ito. Siguro ano na rin yan, na kagustuhan na rin ng tadhana na masiro yung subsidy para mapag-usapan at talagang pati yung mga ordinaryo Pilipino ay makialam na dito sa problema na to sa PhilHealth. Totoo naman ho talaga na mayroong problema. Pero para tanggalin ang subsidiya, ibang usapan na ho yun.
We will also ensure that PhilHealth provides expanded healthcare coverage, including additional medical services, hospitalization support, and better benefits for those in need. Number 2, further reduce premium contributions for workers and employers burdened by rising costs. We will explore reducing premiums while maintaining PhilHealth's capacity to deliver its services. 3, suspend premium payments for 1 year. If funds remain stable and in surplus, we will recommend a one-year suspension of premium payments for all paying members. This will serve as a form of relief to millions of Filipinos already grappling with inflation and rising prices. Why are we doing this? Because the Filipino deserve no less. PhilHealth. PhilHealth exists to provide security and comfort in times of medical emergencies. It should not hoard resources at the expense of its members. If we can alleviate the burden of contributions without compromising its sustainability, we will do so. As we face the daunting challenges of inflation, global conflict, and natural disasters, this House will also stand firm in defending the provision of ayuda for the people. Let me share the story of a single mother from Samar who, during the height of rising prices, relied on financial assistance to keep her children fed and in school. She represents millions of Filipinos whose lives have been touched by our legislative efforts. To those who've doubted the importance of social safety nets, let this be a reminder. Ayuda is not charity, it is justice.
Ayuda's not charity daw. Hindi daw charity ang ayuda. Justice daw yan. Are you stupid or what? Justice saan?
It is our duty to ensure that no Filipino falls through the cracks, especially in times of crisis. This is what governance means, not merely passing laws, but ensuring that these laws translate into hope and dignity for every Filipino family. Sa mga kontra sa ayuda, handang ipakita ng administrasyong ito kung saan napunta ang bawat sentimong inilaan para rito. Ang mga may hawak ng pondo, ang mga departamento tulad ng DSWD, DOLE at DOH, sila ang nagpapatakbo ng mga programa, hindi ang Kongreso. Lahat.
Yan, budulan na naman eh. Budulan na naman eh. Nagkakalokohan na naman tayo eh. Meron na nga nakalaan na pondo na akap na ipamimigay ng mga congressman at meron na para sa mga senador. At yung mga akap na yun ay madidistribute lang pagka nandyan yung isang representante o di naman ho kaya isang senador. Eh, ito talagang si Tamba. Oh. Are you stupid or what?
Lahat ng programa ito may totoong benepisyaryo, may totoong resibo. Walang notice of disallowance mula sa Commission on Audit.
Wow, wala daw wala daw notice of disallowance mula sa Commission on Audit. Eh may liquidation by certification nga lang kayo diyan eh. Tapos yung pamimigay nyo pang ayuda ang i-scrutinize ng COA. Sira ulo ba COA? Gusto nyo bang mayari ang COA pagka budget season? Ito talagang si Tama. Bulahan na naman yan, Brad. Anak na naman ko. Bindagan ng mga undo, eh.
Ang trabaho.
Yung mga hindi pumapalakpak, alam na ho natin ibig sabihin yan, ha? Alam na, yan si Rog Gutierrez, ayan, o. Oy, Kong Busita, ayan, o, yung nanira sa party list.
Ng Kongreso, tiyakin ang pondo rito at masiguro na nakakarating ng maayos sa mga benepisyaryo. Our legislative agenda this year has been centered on economic recovery and growth. By passing measures that promote job creation, support small and medium enterprises, and attract foreign investments, we have laid the foundation for a more robust and inclusive economy. But we also recognize that the work is far from over. Inflation continues to affect the daily lives of our constituents. families still struggle to put food on the table, and young Filipinos dream of a future free from poverty. Alam natin ang problema sa araw-araw ng ating mga kababayan. Kausap natin sila sa mga panahong nasa distrito tayo. Kaya naman hindi tayo tumitigil na humanap ng solusyon sa mga problemang ito. As we move forward, this House will continue to champion policies that address these concerns. Policies that provide opportunities, alleviate burdens, and inspire hope. In its Philippines Economic Update report released this December, the World Bank indicates that the Philippines will continue to make progress in reducing poverty. As a result of robust economic growth and rising real household incomes, poverty incidence is projected to decline from 15.5% in 2023 to 13.6% in 2024, before falling further to 11.3% by 2026. Additionally, Philippine economic growth is projected to grow at an average 6% annually from 2024 to 2026. Inflation decreased to 3.2% this year, down from 6.2% a year ago. The fiscal deficit fell to 5.1% of gross domestic product in the last 3 quarters of 2024, attributed to the government's fiscal consolidation agenda. In its labor force survey, the Philippine Statistics Authority stated that our unemployment rate in October 2024 decreased to 3.9%, down from 4.2% in October of last year. The employment rate was at a whopping 96.1%, higher than October of 2023 employment rate of 94.3%. Thus, our country remains among the fastest growing economies in the region. If we must sustain these gains, we must continue advancing digital technology, investing in human capital, and implementing bold reforms in our monetary policies. As the holiday season approaches, let us be reminded of what Christmas truly means: hope, love, and unity. It is a time to reconnect with our loved ones, to find joy in the simplest moments, and to draw strength from the relationships that anchor us. It is also a time to extend compassion to those who have less: the families displaced by typhoons, to workers struggling to make ends meet, and to the children yearning for a brighter tomorrow. Let us cherish the opportunity to practice introspection, kindness, and compassion. May we be reminded that even in the bleakest of periods, enlightenment may triumph. Christmas also urges us to connect with others, fortify our relationships, and conceive a more promising future for all. We, as legislators, possess a distinct opportunity to exemplify the essence of Christmas in our actions. The birth of Christ urges us to embrace unity, tolerance, humility, and generosity. I take this moment to commend all of you, the members of this august.
Naku, walang kwenta. Ayun na nga mga kababayan, di na ho natin napanood yung kay JJ Suarez. Sa susunod na video na ho yun mga kababayan, nasa 33 minutes ka. Tagal ho pala ng speech na to ni Tambalos kasi ibang klase. No? So always, maraming salamat to sa support sa PH Update. Mag-ingat ho kayong lahat. Mahal natin ng Pilipinas. Budulan talaga. Ibang klase mambudol itong mga tao na to.